I remember the garden when I first came there. There wasn't much out there. Nobody went out there and used it. So it was just sitting there.
We had weeds up to our waist. It was uncared for, hadn't been loved, hadn't been tended. The inspiration for starting this garden actually came from Sid, because she had looked at her church and said, nobody's doing anything with this. Can I do something with it? And then she contacted me and we looked at it. We looked at another garden over in Santa Rosa who has done something similar along the lines that we wanted to do.
And my friend Jim Tischer said, oh, let me show you this garden over at the church in Santa Rosa. And it was amazing what they had done with it. And so that, planted the seed in my head that, hey, they can do it, we can do it. So we came back and Gwen and I were looking at this piece of property and we said, we can do this.
So we knew from the get-go that we wanted to give back to the community. That was a given. The progression of the garden first started with actually getting beds in the garden, clearing out the weeds, and I like to tell Sid, we started with dirt and we now have soil.
But meanwhile, Gwen and I are talking and we're thinking, okay, what is our next step? So we decided to put in some long rows, the 50-foot rows, and then we put in 4 raised beds. So we worked with that for the next year. And then we thought, okay, now we're going to put it on, go for another 4 rows out. Then we decided we would put in a fruit orchard. So the far side is 14 fruit trees.
Within the first 2 years, there came a time when we sat back and went, there is a special feeling about this garden. If there is ever something called spirit of place, this garden definitely has it. And we found that people would come out and just sit and just enjoy it. They said, I enjoy reading here. I enjoy studying here. No, I just want to sit and listen to the wind in the trees. So I think the biggest thing that we created was a spirit of place that just happens to be very prolific in providing food for the needy, for homeless, for those whose salary can't quite stretch to the fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's something we can provide.
I do this because I feel called to it and I am passionate about it. I would rather be out in a garden than doing about anything, really. Just because I find God out there too, for me. So, and being out there and being able to create something, and you plant a little tiny seed and then it grows. And then you get this huge, humongous tomato plant or something that's full of tomatoes, and it's like a little mini miracle, kind of, to just watch these go. And it's very, if I'm uptight about something and I go out to the garden, I will calm down in 20 minutes I'm calmed down. One other aspect is that I love having the people come out and sharing our knowledge with them about gardening and building friendships. We're building tons of friendships out there with all the different volunteers that have come out too. So on so many levels, I mean, from the basic getting into the soil and building that up and watching the plants grow, and then you bring in the volunteers and you build up that too.
You put your time and your love and your energies into something, others feel it. And the fact that I can step back and see others come into our garden and enjoy it, the shoulders relax, they start breathing deeper, their pace slows. It gives them a space to come that is safe, that is lovely, and that they can forget about their lives, if only for 5 minutes. Breathe in a little bit deeper and remind themselves, life is good. There is a lot of beauty in life. So come and enjoy it with us. That is probably one of the biggest reasons we did this, was to give people a place to come.